Hello and welcome to Experience Fulton the Podcast. I'm Regina Waller, Division Manager, Communications and External Affairs for Fulton County. This podcast will not only provide you with information regarding the services and products that Fulton County has to offer, but we'll give you a close-up look into the department and the people who bring you those services. Welcome to Experience Fulton the Podcast. This podcast takes you behind the scenes of the department, services, programs, initiatives that we offer in Fulton County. You may recall that we stopped by the Fulton County Animal Services facility to talk about all that LifeLine and Animal Services has to offer. Well, we are back now here at the Animal Services facility because we're going to learn about a special team that works to protect not only residents, but also any stray animals. So I would like to welcome with us Major Nikki Dwyer with the Fulton County Police Department. She's been with the department for 13 years, who's going to talk to us about the Animal Services Field Officers. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's just jump right into it. So let's discuss, the mechanics of why and how the Animal Field Services unit became part of the Fulton County Police Department.
So field services, we had seen for a while that needed some improvements made, and we were seeing a uptick of animal attacks, and those were not being handled correctly. And so to provide better services to Fulton County residents, we started talking about what would it look like if field services came under the police department. So back a year ago, there was a bad dog attack in Union City where unfortunately a woman lost her life, and that case was not handled correctly, and so we knew that we needed to make some adjustments. So after that, the manager and the director were let go by LifeLine, and in October of 2025, I stepped in as the director, and that gave me, look into the changes that needed to be made, staffing, training, a lot of things. So that opened that up.
So you're the director of LifeLine, and you go ahead.
So I still work for the police department,
Uh-huh.
but just kind of stepping in as the director under LifeLine just for the transition, because at that point we knew that December 17th, the police department was going to take over.
Understood. All right. So you mentioned the animal attack that happened in 2025. Prior to the Animal Field Services unit coming under the police department, that unit or those individuals were managed, by LifeLine initially, but now with the Fulton County Police Department. So now that they're with the Fulton County Police Department, what are the responsibilities of the officers or the unit?
Sure. So it's to respond to calls for service. So they respond to any kind of domesticated animals. So any strays, any injured animals, any bites that occur, rabies suspects. So they go out for calls for service. And we have added an additional job where a couple of our post-certified police officers, all they do is work animal cruelty cases. And once we started working those, we saw that there are a ton. So that division is very busy, and we're holding people accountable criminally for those cases.
And you mentioned a transition happened in December of 2025, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So now can you break down the type of services, and you talked a little bit about that, but can you break down the type of services that will be offered across the county with this unit?
So again, the calls for service, we also do school visits. So we teach the kids about what it is to be an animal services officer and, how to handle dogs, how to approach dogs. And then also the criminal aspect of it where law enforcement is involved. So animal services officers are not sworn, post-certified.
Okay.
And so they cite citizens for ordinance violations, Fulton County. Anything that's criminal comes to our investigative side, and that is through post-certified officers, and they work the criminal cases. So that's additional service that we're providing, and we work cases in all 15 cities from Milton all the way down to Palmetto.
So almost 6 months since the transition happened. How are things going so far?
I think they're going great. We have made a lot of different changes that were needed. Officers seem to be a lot happier, and we have better quality officers.
How many officers do you have on that team?
So we have 19 right now.
Okay, gotcha. And how have the hiring standards changed since the transition when you guys are adding more folks to the unit?
So standards are higher. They do have to go through a criminal background check, psychological check, polygraph, and then, of course, we look at, past work history, drug tests, and we do random drug tests, especially since they're driving county vehicles. So that has changed. And then same with, overall looks, just a higher level of professionalism. So, men have to have short hair, women hair has to be up, no facial piercings, no colored hair. You need to look respectable, presentable, tucked in uniform.
So in mentioning that, I'm going to jump to a later question that I have, since we're talking about the appearance of the officers right now, because I had an opportunity to see the officers in Assembly Hall during one of the board meetings, and I noticed that they were wearing a vest that just had the title Animal Services Field Officer that they were wearing. However, they're going to get some new uniforms. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, so they should be coming out this next week. So they have a new patch on the arm, says Fulton County Animal Services, and we've worked that into the uniform to kind of match the colors. And then they have a Animal Services badge, officer badge that they wear. They're also going to receive ballistic vests. It's the same vest that our police officers wear, so that when they're out in the field, they are protected. And those were measured to fit them exactly for their, height, weight, and all of that. And those have what we call MOLLE attachments, so they'll be able to put body camera and other tools on their vest. We have also just rolled out Axon body cameras. Prior to that, they had some other cameras that were not efficient. Officers were not able to find their videos when it was time to go to court, all of that. And so just yesterday, we rolled out Axon body cameras, so they all now have the same camera system that our police officers have. And that allows officers to watch their videos and show it to the court. They can now just share videos with Solicitor General's office and also the DA's office for cases. And so it's just made things much simpler.
You're arming the unit with a great deal of equipment, but let's talk about training. What type of new training, different training, or overall training has been implemented before they hit the streets?
So we've changed it so everyone has to be in field training for 3 months, and then they take a written test and also do a few ride-alongs with supervision to make sure that they are proficient and feel comfortable on the street by themselves. We have also made it so that officers are required to have NACA training, which is the National Animal Care Association, kind of like post-certification for police officers, but it's for animal services officers. So our animal services officers, one, have to have NACA 1 within a year, and then our animal services officers, 2, have to have NACA 1 and 2 within 18 months. So with that training, they are ready to hit the street. And then we do roll call training and go over policy and talk about situations too.
So all of the training, all of the equipment, and of course supervision from your level, this is all to assist in keeping the animals and residents safe in Fulton County, right?
Correct. So, it is animal calls, but a lot of these calls, they involve people, whether it's, a dispute about who owns the animal, or a neighbor who's being irresponsible with their animal and letting them run around and bite people, or even on the criminal side, domestic violence, gang activity, child abuse. We've had a lot of that. And so with helping the animals, we're also helping the citizens of Fulton County.
All right. So tell us, how and when should someone reach out to Animal Services or the field officers?
So anytime, they see an injured animal, if they if there's a bite, if they see an animal, maybe a raccoon or a fox acting kind of odd, spinning around, possibly a rabies suspect, loose dogs, stray dogs, they can call the animal shelter here, or they can just simply call 911, and 911 will send that dispatch over to our officers, and we'll respond directly from there.
Well, thank you so much for filling us in on the Animal Field Service Officers. And again, this is a unit that transitioned to Fulton County Police Department in December of 2025. So we just want to say thank you to Major Nikki Dwyer for stopping by to chat with us.
All right, well, thank you for having me. It was fun.
So if you need to learn more about the Fulton County Animal Services or Fulton County Animal Service Field Officers, please take a look at our website, www.fultoncountygA.gov.